Let's get airborne. Dante. Riding
Sorry,
high.
Devil Knuckle, I guess.
Let's get airborne.
Because that exists in this game.
Riding high. Let's get airborne. Riding high. I can take you with no.
I never played New Game Plus. I don't know what it's called.
Let's get it. I trust you. Humans helping each other out. That's the world coming to.
To be fair, there's a lot of moves.
Let's get
And then they change their name between games.
Let's get airborne. Riding high.
Like a round trip in DMC1 and round trip in DMC2 are completely different moves.
Let's get airborne.
But then round trip comes back in the other games and
Let's get airborne. Hold on, Dante.
is the same move as from DMC1.
What you say?
I got robbed.
What you say?
The last thing never came out. And then he also didn't do the fireball.
What you say?
It's Flen. Not the puns, no. You want Nero to get some actual devil arms instead of just using rank me all the time? But that's his whole thing, dude. That's his character.
I've got some cleaning up to do.
The design philosophy behind Nero is that he's simple.
Riding high. Let's get airborne.
Like very few overarching mechanics, but used in a lot of different ways. Whereas Dante's the opposite. Dante has a lot of individual mechanics, but a lot of them don't have a ton of utility outside their specific use. They're like opposites of each other, which is why they complement each other really well. And then V is just bad. So
Not just about feeding.
that's how he's the opposite of Nero and Dante.
What a lovely house plant. You like that? Then have some more. Oh. Yeah. Perfect. Now make the wish. They're everywhere.
Yeah, double knuckle is cool. Or yeah, knuckle, whatever it is, knuckle. Moose knuckle. Nero's new moose knuckle is good. That's what Twitter might say.
Hey, we doing this?
But it's a cool mechanic. I like it. I don't interact with it a whole ton because I never played New Game Plus. It makes sense that V sucks. He's not whole yet. True. So true, bestie.
Catch up to V. Fast. Mess.
I feel like they could have done something like a reboot where you hold the button down and it enhances his moves. Exceed? That's what Exceed is. Also Charge Shot. Charge Shot, Exceed, Breaker Knuckle, all do those things actually. It's like... Breaker Knuckle lets you add in additional attacks to all of your other attacks whenever you want. And then Exceed lets you power up all of your attacks. And Charge Shot lets you power up your gunshots. I mean, he's already got like a ton of mechanics that are all focused on powering up his normal moves. I do actually know how Exceed works. Believe it or not.
Riding high. Let's get airborne. Trying to stop me.
Trying to stop.
Whatever shall I do? She just hacked my way through.
You know, you're sitting here describing to me how the mechanics work as if I don't know. I know that you know I know, but the point of me saying I know how it works is the implication is
Where did I come from again?
I think that that's applicable to what you're talking about. That's not a hold. Okay.
This again?
But like, isn't the underlying philosophy of the thing that you were saying is that you want to be able to do something more complex with Nero's moveset? By maybe like being able to hold the inputs? It is literally not a hold, but it is mechanically similar and accomplishes a very similar goal to what you're asking for. Now, Artorias. I don't like the new gun.
Getting really sick of this stupid tree. Man, getting sick of this.
I bring it up because I'm like, it seems like what you're asking for already exists in multiple places in the character's moveset. So I'm curious, like, what distinction would make that more interesting to you?
Not gonna lie, this new arm is pretty sweet.
I think he needs a low complexity move. He's supposed to be easy to learn, but exceeds are a high ask for new players. Alright, I'm gonna say it. If you can't exceed, maybe DMC's not the franchise for you. It's like 8 frames. And there is no punishment for missing it. Here comes the gatekeeping allegations. But like, for real, bro. The timing window on normal exceeds, not max act, is fucking ginormous. And there's literally 0 punishment for missing it. Yeah, you can even just mash it. You don't even have to time it, and you'll hit like some of them with some consistency. Well, max act doesn't exist until you buy the move, and then the move description itself in the shop tells you what it does. I can exceed, but new players have trouble. My girlfriend, who is not good at action games at all, could exceed like pretty consistently. If that is considered gatekeeping, then yes, get out of my franchise. Gatekeeping is good. Thank you for proving my point.
think I'll handle the closer one first. Gotta start somewhere.
But he is easy in comparison to the complexity and execution required in other characters. That's just objectively true. Like, that is just objectively true that Nero is more complicated, or less complicated of a character, and relatively easy compared to Dante.
Screw it. We're taking this fucking thing down.
That's just an objective reality to the situation. You want me to ignore reality so that I can spare people's feelings? If you are so mentally affected by someone telling you that something should be easy, then you just need to grow a backbone, straight up. That's like a personality flaw at its core and has nothing to do with playing video games. Actually, you're just a weak human.
Off you go. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I don't care what you think because I'm right. And you're wrong. What's up, Ish? How you doing, dude?
You want me to follow you?
That's a loser mentality. That's how you get nothing done.
Come on. Right now. Without strength, you can't protect anything. I know that.
I act like a child? No, I act like someone who's successful, bro. What have you done with your life? If you can't state the reality that one thing is easier than the other because it's going to hurt someone's feelings and therefore stop them at learning to execute the thing, they were never going to execute the thing. That's just the facts. That's the whole truth. Nothing but the truth. I've been nothing but polite. Are you? Are you 5? No. You're not being polite. You're promoting a worldview that's toxic to society as a whole. You are actively making the world that I live in worse because you're promoting a worldview that makes everyone complacent and lazy and unable to accept any criticism and unable to come across things that are difficult and rise up to that challenge. Everything has to be dumbed down for everybody because some people have a harder time than other people. The worldview that you're espousing is quite literally making society worse. And I have to live in it. So no, you're not being polite. The literal words that I said. You could take them at face value. There's not some poetry going on there.
Retreat.
Yeah, because you're thinking about it from too narrow of a perspective. That's what I'm saying. This is a philosophical conversation about the nature of how you should approach difficulty. But you don't care at all about the implications of what you're saying on a greater scale. You only care about getting more games, that's it. Like you Jesus, dude. Not everything is made for everybody. That's it. That is quite literally it. You cannot make everything for everyone. That is the unfortunate truth of reality. Because in order for things to be for certain groups or for certain types of people with certain amounts of execution, they have to have idiosyncratic things about them that make it inaccessible to other people. That is just how everything works. That's the nature of reality. Did I get it right? Bro is literally mad that DMC has a skill floor. Basically. Just because you don't understand the implications of the things that you're saying does not mean that you're not saying them. You're like, bro, that's not what I'm saying. But that is the implication of what you were saying. So it is ostensibly what you were saying. Then go complain about it, dude. I don't care. You cannot change the nature of reality. What do you think unchecked means? You can't check the nature of reality. It's immutable. That's literally what it means. Just because you don't think it's that deep does not mean it's not that deep. That's fine. Can't change reality is the dumbest shit on earth to say.
What do you say?
Okay, then change reality, bro. Go do it. Have fun with that. Have fun with that, dude. Good luck changing the immutable laws of the universe. What a fucking idiot, dude.
Now to find the next. There must be an escape route.
What an absolute fucking idiot.
I'm thinking we could take on anything.
You have moved a jar, therefore reality has changed. Well, you just don't understand what I'm talking about then. That's not changing reality. I'm talking about changing the way that reality is structured in and of itself, how things work. Because you think that moving a jar is changing reality. I'm talking about the fundamental underpinnings that dictate the way that things work. Not about the physical locations of objects in 3D space.
One thought fills immensely. It's not the time for poetry. What does that even mean? Where there's a will, there's a way. Now let's go. Power to control time. That's quite a horror. But that would mean it's scary. But nothing you can do. Now, the angel. Slice.
Yeah, he's taking it too literally. A shocker from the guy who doesn't understand what I'm trying to fucking say. He's unable to conceptualize at a higher level like that. Just can't do it. This is why he will not understand.
Take that momentum and send it right back. To see the world. Hours of folly are measured by the clock, but of wisdom, no clock can measure. Die.
I'm thinking we could take on anything.
Why am I so angry? Because you're a fucking idiot. It's frustrating to see people with such low mental capacity talk to me in my chat. It's frustrating to see people lower the quality of society in real time in front of me. I have to deal with the real life consequences of you pushing the narrative that there is no such thing as identity in a piece of media. You can just infinitely degrade something from what it actually is, and there's nothing can ever have any sort of identity because everything has to be accessible to everyone at all times. That's just not how reality should function, but that's the reality that you are arguing for. Oh, so unlucky. Unlucky. I never said any of this. It's the implication of the things that you said. If you take the things that you said to their natural conclusions, that is the outcome in which you come to. Because I said that Exceed is actually a really accessible mechanic that has almost no punishment to it. And you said, even that is too much for some people. And I said, if that's too much for you, then Devil May Cry is not for you. And you said, that's not the case, that's just gatekeeping. If you can't have a line for where execution can stop and being important in the identity of a certain action, then that action cannot have an identity at all. And therefore, no actions and no pieces of art can have any identity that's associated with execution in any capacity because you're not allowed to gatekeep them. That is the natural conclusion to the thought process that you are invoking with that argument. And yeah, I don't fuck with that. Are you allowed to call lifting a 5-pound dumbbell powerlifting? I don't think so, because that's not enough weight to be considered powerlifting. You need words to have meaning in order for them to actually be useful. And so if you just call everything that is lifting a weight powerlifting, then the word power has no practical application in conversation.
Millennials big weebs for 8 months. Hate ads.
You never said XC was too hard. Yes, you did. You literally fucking did. That is the entire basis of your argument. You said that Exceed is hard for newer players, and you wish that the more accessible player, their character, Nero, should have more accessible press to hold mechanics instead. Yeah, Flan, thank you for the 6 months, or the 8 months rather. Appreciate you, man.
This way.
Yeah, and I said, if you can't manage to exceed, then DMC probably just isn't the franchise for you. And you said I was gatekeeping. The implication of that being that's a bad thing that I should not be doing. Hey, Stubby. Thanks for the good luck. But if there can't be a line for where something starts and where something stops, because it's considered gatekeeping, then there is no definition of anything, ever. You can't have a definition for something.
Large. How much blood has been sacrificed?
There has to be a line. Oh, too high. This is slow. Oh, that sucks. I thought he was too far away to hit me there. So if gatekeeping is right, then why are we calling Nero accessible? Because he is! You can do both! They're not mutually exclusive. Holy shit. Nero is objectively more accessible than Dante or Virgil. That's the whole point of his character. That's why he's designed. He's designed to be accessible. The limit to how accessible the game is supposed to be is how far they go to design the game to be accessible. That's literally it. He's just objectively a more accessible character than Dante is. That's the whole point.
I'm thinking we can take on anything.
Then maybe we should remove Nero? God, you're being so disingenuous. It's insane. They are mutually exclusive, literally. And you are mutually exclusively a fucking idiot. Literally.
Stood a chance.
Like, bro is really trying to tell me that there is no such thing as an objective measurement of accessibility between characters. Like, all characters in the game are the same amount of accessible. You couldn't possibly define one as more accessible than the other.
Let's get airborne. Riding high.
Thank you, Grim. Like, what is that? What is this fucking logic? No wonder this dude is rage baiting me. He's a fucking idiot. This dude's entire argument is because Nero is slightly easier and more accessible to play as than Dante, therefore there is no line to how accessible the game should be.
Blood all over. Better be a shower.
What the fuck is that? What is this idiot logic? There could be no identity for how execution heavy the game could be because Nero is easier than Dante. Like, what? So I'll re-illustrate my point for maybe people who don't understand why I was upset. The reason why I was upset is because Bro was saying, he was saying that he wished that Nero had some mechanics that changed up his moveset in interesting ways by being able to like hold the button down or something. Because I guess the implication there is that he thinks that Nero is too simple. And I was like, well, he does actually have a lot of mechanics that do exactly what you're asking for, but obviously those aren't doing it for you. So like, what is the difference? Like, why are those not doing it for you, but like you think that a hold mechanic would be? And then his response was, well, some players have a hard time with mechanics like Exceed, so a hold mechanic would be easier to get into if you want to add more complexity to the character. And I said, but the Exceed mechanic is already really easy, and Nero's mechanics in general are much easier than Dante's.
You are so kind.
And so I feel like if you can't get the Exceed mechanic, then maybe just DMC isn't for you. And then he called me a gatekeeper and was like, that's a bad thing to do. And I was like, but you can't infinitely dumb down the mechanics of the game while it's still having the same identity. Like, the reason that made me upset is because, like, Devil May Cry is what it is because it requires the things of you that it requires. That's the immutable nature of reality. Like, skateboarding is skateboarding because of the way that you interact with skateboarding. Like, skateboarding is skateboarding because skateboarding is difficult. If everyone could kickflip, then there'd be a lot of different implications for what it means to kickflip, and then it wouldn't be the same thing. The argument that I always come back to is like, a big reason why skateboarding is cool is because doing things that is hard and making it look easy is cool. And everyone knows that doing a kickflip is hard. But if Skateboarding 2 came out and they made kickflips way easier, then kickflips wouldn't be cool anymore because part of the appeal of a kickflip is that it's difficult, right? Did you say it's gatekeeping to say that it's important to the identity of skateboarding that a kickflip is hard? Just means that means you don't think that it's okay for there to be identity of something attached to execution, right? Like, if you think, oh, well, it's gatekeepy of you to say that Skateboarding 2 shouldn't make kickflipping easier, but it's like, that's the entire identity of the kickflip, is that it's hard. So if you remove that, then what is it? It means nothing, right? I don't know. I don't think that's that complicated of a fucking idea.
Let's get airborne. Riding high.
But apparently, you know,
Riding high. Let's get airborne.
that's like giving people participation trophies, which is exactly why I was upset about the logic in the first place. Because if you take that logic to its natural conclusion, then every single thing that you like that requires execution is going to have all of the execution stripped out of it for the potential idea that someone out there can't enjoy it because they can't reach the execution required to enjoy it. And it's like, that's the point, dude. It is only valuable because not everyone can achieve it. If everyone could achieve it, it would have no value. The identity of the thing itself is tied into the fact that it's not easy to achieve. That's what makes it feel good.
Nowhere to go.
Let's get airborne.
That's literally skill floor, and that's what separates from pros from casual. Bro's mad about that. Seriously, go find something to do. That's why I said he's a fucking loser, because the only person that is gonna care that much about the skill floor being too high is someone that just can't reach it. And bro is trying to bring up like, what about disabilities and stuff? It's like, I know disabilities exist, and I don't think that's a fair criticism. Like, if you're someone with a disability, you're gonna not be able to do as much as other people. That's just the immutable facts of reality. But that doesn't mean that other people shouldn't have the capacity to do things that you can't. And every single disabled person I've ever known has not had that attitude. Like, when's the last time you saw someone in a wheelchair that's like, man, I hate all these people with fucking legs? You know what I mean? No one should be able to walk because I can't walk. You know? Every disabled person I've ever met has had a way better attitude than that. They understand that it's just different for them, and that's unlucky, right? Like, and like, they may have some negative emotions about that, but the right mentality is not fucking Brave New World. Bring everyone down to the lowest common denominator. I'm not even anti-accessibility options. Like, this game has an auto mode. Nothing wrong with playing auto mode. That's fine. Like, it's okay for there to be like accessibility shit to help people with it, but like, it is fundamentally a different thing. Nice, first try. Like, my girlfriend is type 1 diabetic. That's a huge disability. That's like brought her back in life a lot. And it's like, okay, but like, you just do what you can, you know? It's okay that she can't necessarily get all the same outcomes as other people in certain areas of life. Like, losing weight and staying in good shape is a lot harder for someone with type 1 diabetes. You know? But she's not gonna sit there and be mad at everyone that doesn't have the same difficulty. It's just a fucking shit attitude to have. I missed the no damage, that sucks. My money rout's gonna be fucked. But then his argument devolved into, oh, well, Nero is a more accessible character than Dante, and that's making the franchise more accessible. So isn't that bad? Shouldn't we just not have Nero?
Come here.
It's like, dude, that's such a straw man. Yeah, I'm poor as shit. I'm not gonna be able to buy Trickster 3.
That guy really do this? Well, no accounting for taste.
What are you talking about?
Fired up.
Like, literally, what are you talking about? Like, come on, dude. Get a fucking life. Thank you, Zach. Go outside. Do something hard. It's good for you, bro. Accomplish something.
Fired up.
Could be. Sorry about that, Smokey. God, yeah, I'm so poor. Maybe I skip out on ignition as well. I definitely need Stinger. Let's just buy Swordmaster first and see where we land. 14K. Yeah, we go for ignition. We can't level 3 though. What's up, Trudon? How you doing, dude? Such an entitled mentality that like every piece of media, every exercise, every activity should be so accessible that every single person on the planet can do it. Surely that won't destroy the identity of it.
I'm bored.
Like, I'm not smart enough to do rocket science or brain surgery. It's like, I'm not sitting here being like, oh, well, they should make brain surgery more accessible, dude. Like, fucking stupid. Not every experience is for every person. That's okay.
Already here. These ladies work fast.
I just genuinely wanted to know what they meant because I feel like Nero's mechanics all already do that stuff. Also, he acts like I don't complain that DMC5 is too easy. That's like my biggest critique of DMC5. My #1 critique of this game is it's way too fucking easy, and that they lowered the skill floor too much for a lot of the more advanced mechanics. That is actually completely unironically my biggest critique of this game. It all comes back to that. It's like, the game's about being stylish, but it's too easy to be stylish. And like we had the conversation about skateboarding, it's like part of the reason why a kickflip looks cool is because you know that it's hard. But if kickflips weren't hard, then it wouldn't look as cool, right?
Yeah, getting close. I can feel it. Fired up.
Will you just die? Yeah, but I mean like actually executing the moves or like getting a triple S rank or that kind of thing instead of, yeah. Staying in the air, for example, is a really good one. Like it's so easy to stay in the air in this game. Yeah, lost a lot of time there. Let's just remake all games where they either tap or hold a button and you just beat the game. The thing is, like, if you did that, this is why I mean about it being like a mutable fact of reality, right? Like, if you did that, it would not be the same thing, right? Like, it's still like that wouldn't actually bridge the gap because lowering the skill floor like that doesn't actually change the reality of the situation. You know what I mean? Like, let's say this game literally did have a button, like you just hold the A button down, it just beats the game for you automatically, right? Doing that to beat the game is not the same experience as playing the game normally without that accessibility action, you know? And so even if you beat the game and you say you beat the game using that other feature, it's not the same thing. Like, it's only the same thing in name. But the actual things that are happening, the experience is not the same. You can't like prescribe the experience or the actual feeling of playing the game just by making it a bit more accessible. Like, it doesn't make that the experience. The truth of the matter is, if you can't execute on the mechanics, you just can't have that experience. It doesn't matter what accessibility options you add or whatever, it's just not the same experience. And you just can never have that experience. Which is just an unfortunate part of reality. I don't think that's a good thing, but it's just true, right? Like, you can't not have that be true. I think maybe even a better metaphor is like this might be a hot take for some people. One of my favorite movies is American Psycho, but a lot of people like American Psycho. But a lot of people that like American Psycho don't get it. Like, they just don't understand the themes and actually like what the movie is trying to do. And so like they may enjoy and watch American Psycho, but they don't really get it. They're not having the experience of American Psycho, really. Not really. Like, that's not really what the experience of American Psycho is, if you misinterpret it that way. And like, you can say that like any interpretation is valid or whatever, or blah, 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 but like, at the end of the day, that's not the same experience as someone who like really gets it. And you can never replicate that experience without just getting it. It's a movie about how to be successful. Yeah, I'm supposed to relate to him, right guys? Me when I'm Patrick Bateman. But completely unironically, that's a lot of people's takeaway from that movie. And it's just like, you just don't get it. There's no execution required except for, I guess, having media literacy, but there's no replacement for media literacy. It's just not the same experience. Whether that different experience has value or not depends on the person. Oh, for sure. But I think that's the same thing with like a game, right? Like, if they did have a one button beat the game mode in this game, for example, like it only matters to the individual, right? Who's actually doing it. Golge. It's just not the same experience. It can't be. if you change the experience, then it fundamentally is different. And there's something to be said that maybe, you know, there's such a range of experiences that people have, such a different set of, fuck, I need tricks for level 3. Is there a shop here? No, I need to restart mission. Like, there's no truly comparable experiences because everyone starts from a different playing field, right? And that's true. But like, the closest you can get is not changing the experience itself. Yeah, this is super big time loss.
Unless you want to die, I suggest you get the hell out of my way.
And it's not even, like I said, it's not even a bad thing. Like, it's okay. You just have to be okay with that. I don't have the physique to be a professional power lifter. And like, that's not even because I haven't worked hard. It's because I just don't have the genetic capacity for that. But I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, well, we need to lower the standards for what's considered powerlifting because I want to participate in this thing that I'm not genetically predisposed for. It's like, if you did that, then it just wouldn't be powerlifting. Like, you could say that it is all you want, but it's just not, that's just not what it is. You know? What's American Psycho about?
If I follow these
American Psycho
when in doubt,
is about
it's our family motto.
capitalism, basically.
Yep. Here comes the blood.
It's about how in capitalism, psychopathy is, in modern society in general, not just capitalism specifically, but like is very much so rewarded. It's also about nepotism and all the sorts of things that are revolved around that. Like, Patrick Bateman as the character in that movie is a villain. Like, he's not the good guy. He's a serial killer. But he has all this status. He has his job, a really well-paying job. He's got like unlimited attention from women, you know, like he's basically completely safe from all criticism, even going to jail for his own crimes. And like the cost of that and like why society rewards that the way it does. Yeah, it's basically about the violence of capitalism, essentially. It's a fantastic movie. It's probably my favorite movie, but a lot of people walk away from that movie and go, man, that guy's such a badass. I so relate. I wish I could be him. It's like, that's the wrong, you're idolizing the wrong guy, dude. Also, Rip Run. Just fucking fell. Okay, actually, nice recovery. People get the wrong idea, just like Fight Club? Yeah, totally. I haven't seen Fight Club, but I've heard that's the case.
That should be all of them.
It's a really good movie. I would definitely recommend it. But there will be like frat bro, like finance bros that watch that movie and tell you, oh man, I love that movie. It's my favorite. I want to be just like Patrick Bateman. Like completely unironically, because they just don't get it. He talked about it, dies of cringe. But yeah, I think it's a good example because in order to get the experience of having watched that, like you have to understand it. And to understand it, there's a lot of things that go into that. Like you need a high enough IQ to be able to understand it. You need to have just like practice and training and media literacy in general. But that doesn't mean that the experience is the same for everybody. You need to have a high IQ, people leave. Yeah, Run's still alive somehow. Somehow. The save was good. Yeah, Starship Troopers is a very similar thing. Yeah, I suppose you're right. I guess it's any, yeah. But like they don't even view the movie as portraying it that way, which I think is just not the case. Like American Psycho definitely portrays all of the things that happen in the movie as a bad thing and doesn't solely rely on you as the audience member taking it bad, right? At least in my opinion. And so like if the movie is presenting as if this action is supposed to be bad and then you don't perceive it as bad, it's like then you're just not getting what the movie's trying to say.
I'll take the low road.
Yeah, totally B. I agree.
Go down and go up. Sure, that's straightforward. Good. I get to go up.
The fact that this run is as good as it is, considering all the shit that's happened, it's pretty sick actually. Definitely getting better. You don't get it. American Psycho is actually just a movie about me. I don't know how the director of American Psycho just so happened to perfectly put me and my own personality and dreams in the movie.
Devil's down here.
And like, here's the thing too. It's totally okay to watch American Psycho and not get it. That's the thing too. Like, I don't even really have a problem with that. It's hard for me to conceptualize. And it's not the, God, and I missed that no damage too. It's hard for me to conceptualize that being the case. But like, I don't know, it's fine. You know what I mean? But it's not the same thing. It's okay to have different experiences. But you can't have the same, you can't have a completely different experience and then try to rationalize and say that it's the same experience. You know what I mean? It's just not. Those are just not the same experiences. You cannot universalize experiences. It's just not possible.
Hold on just a little longer.
An example that hits closer to home, right, is like, I speedrun a lot of games at a world record level of competition, but I've also speedrun games at a much more casual level. Like, I just barely got into it and I don't really know what's going on. Speedrunning a game at the highest level of competition is very different than speedrunning a game at a low level of competition. If you can PB every single run, that creates a completely different environment. You know, if you don't have to hit as many hard tricks or like have as high a level of consistency throughout the run, in your run, then it's just a different experience than when you do have to do that. And that's not to say that one experience is like necessarily better than the other, but they're not the same, right? Like, and that's where the stolen valor comes in. That's why like a lot of people will speedrun a game that like no one has ever fucking played before, or like they're the only person to ever get speedrun this game. And then they're out there claiming like, oh, they have world record in this game. And it's like, that's because people's initial conception to him saying that he has world record is that it means a specific thing, but it's like conniving socially, because that's not actually what it means, right? Like, if you did one run of a licensed PS2 game that no one else has ever run before and you have world record, you claim world record, people are going to think like, oh, this is a thing that's like really competitive and you probably had to work a long time for. But if you literally just did one run, that's not the same experience, right? And like, those are both valid experiences that are perfectly fine. But to pretend that they are the same experience is fucking crazy. That's just disingenuous. And it just never could be. But it's okay for not everyone to be able to access all experiences. That's part of what makes being a human and being alive interesting, is that you get your own set of unique experiences. It's a part of the beautiful part of the human condition, you know? It is, but a lot of people just want to feel festival by being a vampire in everyone else's communities. I don't even think it's that intentionally malicious. It's just like they have FOMO, basically.
Oh, we finally made it out. That thing was something else, huh?
Best we
You know?
avoid it if possible, especially given my condition.
This is a big reason why, like, people will often be confused at me for like grinding for long periods of time for something. They're like, how do you not get bored? Like, how do you not want to stop doing it anymore? And it's like, because the fact that it's taking me a long period of time is what gives it value.
No time to worry about this.
You know? Like, I'm gonna get this DMC5 world record in like another week and a half. Right? This DMC5 world record is going to feel nowhere near as good. And it's going to have nowhere near as much status associated with that Halo Reach record I got. Because that Halo Reach record took like almost a year straight of grinding and was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my whole life. This record is going to be nowhere near as hard as that. And it's also not going to feel anywhere near as good.
My journey.
But like, the reason that it's valuable is because it's difficult, you know? The difficulty is directly correlated with how much value it has.
Too easy.
And that's not even like something that's just a personal philosophy. That's just how the world works, man.
Split up again, huh?
That's just the fundamental nature of reality, which is why, like, that guy is like, well, we could change reality. I'm like, no. No, you can't. That's the whole point. Let's go, Tata. They're on the run. Sir, this is the poorest run of all time. I have no money.
Let's get airborne. Riding high.
Looks like good luck. I fucked up. Yeah, like the harder you fight for a trick in skateboarding, the more rewarding it's going to be to have landed the trick. Like if you try a trick that you've never tried before and you land it first try, you're like, oh, okay. You could be like kind of excited, but you're like, the capacity for your own excitement is going to dwindle a lot based on the difficulty of the trick, right? Like if it takes you weeks and weeks and weeks to finally land this trick, when you land it, you're going to feel way better. Just how it goes. It's just reality.
Let's get airborne. Riding high. Let's get airborne. Riding high. Let's get airborne.
Video games are a microcosm of that. Like, games that have execution in them, like a Dark Souls or a Devil May Cry or something like that, where they're like a part of the identity itself of the game is that there is execution required, is like there being difficulty in completing the game or doing it with a high rank in the case of Devil May Cry, for example, like is part of the appeal. It's what makes it feel good. That's why Devil May Cry 5 is really underwhelming for a lot of people that played the other games, because they were more challenging. You take away that challenge and then, you know, the reward is also taken away. It's just an immutable fact how reality works. It is though. It is, but you've known people who don't appreciate reward from difficulty. Honestly, never understood them much. Though I've tried several times. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, overturn, nice. I'd be hard pressed to believe. Sorry, verbiage is hard there. I doubt that any of those people are successful in their normal life. Because most real life accomplishments require that from you. What do you feel about successes that are long overdue? I think that it's just a mentality issue. Like, if you feel like you have deserved this thing and you just can't get it, even though you deserve it, like, it's just a bad attitude to have. Like, you don't deserve it until you've gotten it.
Anything with a nose to follow you.
Bruh.
Game over, Birdie.
Please fall over it. I hate this fucking chicken. My mentality is that you don't deserve it until you've gotten it. Straight up. Pretty harsh point to have. Like, reality itself doesn't care whether you think you deserve it or not. And having an entitlement and attitude towards it is only going to make you perform worse. That's a mentality that a lot of people have when they cheat. Is they feel like they've deserved it because they like have already hit the metrics in their head for what it means to get the thing. But then when reality doesn't line up with them, then they get upset and then they cheat. I am so poor.
All right, this is the real deal. Full speed ahead.
I might lose the run simply to not having enough money to Faust things. Well, does taking a glass of water have to be hard? No, but it is for some people. And like, is it going to be helpful to their overall quality of life? Or in their progress towards reaching their dreams and goals to be upset that it's harder, because for some people it is harder. That's just how it is. And reality does not give a singular fuck if you are upset that it's harder or not. Like, my girlfriend's a type 1 diabetic. She's born with it. Not a skill issue at all. There's nothing she could do to stop that from happening. And it's not her fault. But her life is way harder because of it. Should it be? I guess you could say no, but like, she just has to live with that, dude. There's nothing she can do about it. So if she sits there and just becomes bitter and resentful that it's harder for her than it is for other people, then her life is just gonna fucking suck. The only thing you can take control of is the stuff that you can take control of, and you just have to take responsibility for those things. And just do your best. Yeah, Murasama is a great example. I don't know the details and I'm not going to ask, but like, bro has some stuff that makes it really hard for him. Bro's a big inspiration to me. He has some stuff that makes it really hard for him to physically be able to play games at like a higher level, but he still participates in the Demon Pre. He still gets good times. Because like, all he can fucking do is just his best. And he never fucking complains about it, ever. Yeah, king shit for real. Fucking legend. Well, because it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, what does it help you to complain, you know? To be upset, to feel like you deserve it. You know, it's just gonna make you mad. It's just gonna make you not enjoy your life as much and to be resentful and upset. And that resent and upsetness is going to make you perform worse. You know? Like, a really good example would be, I recently got that Halo Reach record. And in Halo Reach, there was a level 45 minutes into the run that is basically completely RNG. And there's only, like, I want to say, what's the odds of getting the luck that you need for world record? It's like less than 6%. So 45 minutes into playing at a world record level, you have to get less than 6% luck. And like, so you're just gonna get tons of runs there where you just played perfectly and the game said no. But if you sit there and complain and be like, oh, I deserve to get the world record there, then every single time you lose a run there, you're just gonna be completely mentally boomed. Which means you're not gonna be able to do more runs for the rest of the day. Your mental's just shattered. Your execution's gonna be dog shit. So I took the approach of like, just being grateful every time I got there that I got another run there. Because you don't always get a run there. And if you just get enough runs there, eventually you'll win. You know? It says like, do I deserve to get world record because I got 20 runs to NA before I actually got the run? No. Because what is that going to help for me? That's going to make my content worse. That's going to make my attempts worse. I'm going to be tilted. You know? Like, that's not going to help at all. Who's that going to fucking help? Nobody. Oopsies. Yeah, I lost ignition.
What's wrong, Virgil? No time.
Unlucky. You ever feel like you're a bad influence on yourself or others? No, I'm a great influence. I'm a great influence. The way that I conduct myself gets results. I am a pillar in all of the communities that I'm in, and they're very grateful to have me.
Never would have guessed you'd come back. Damn it, V.
All right, let's get started. This'll be quite a fun.
Great. Can't wait for the rematch.
Because I'm out here inspiring other people to do better for themselves, leading by example, and motivating them and pushing them and encouraging them to do the best that they possibly can and to push themselves every single day. And I'm also the one out here doing community events and building things for people. Building up things, building accessible events for people to get into things, making resources. Yeah, I got nothing to be ashamed of. Oof, I didn't have enough Faust. DT Stinger, maybe? Yeah.
Slack. One more round. Looks like I'm back in Malay Island. No, they don't stand a chance.
Bring it on. This is great.
Not the worst place to die. Test time.
No, but you don't get rid of the feeling, Estenia. That's the thing. You don't have to get rid of the bitterness. You can allow yourself to be upset and then understand that it's not productive. And after you feel your upsetness, just move on. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, it's not okay for me to be mad that I lost this run. You know? Because it is okay. But to ruminate on it, to just continue to be bitter and resentful over an extended period of time is not productive. That's the thing, though. It's holistic. It's not just, oh, I'm not going to be upset. Like you like, okay, I understand. Like, I lost that run to RNG and that's not my fault, and that's gonna make me mad, but that's okay. Just maybe walk around, feel mad for a little bit, allow myself to feel that emotion, and then just move on.
That's everything to do with me.
Nero.
Resistance.
GG. Oh, okay, he almost didn't die. GG. I mean, like, it's possible to just move on willingly.
Interesting.
I can. You don't have complete control. You can't decide, okay, I'm going to move on now, but you just have to deal with them as they come. And you just take them for what they are and then move on. GG. Of course that run PBs. Fucking ranting and debating the entire run.